All right, let's get this started right here. Everybody, welcome to June Lido's Ignorant Bliss podcast. This is actually the second time I tried to do this. I made one last night and it got defeated over some stuff. Yeah, this is my new podcast. I'm Julian Lido. I'm an artist of a webcomic called Ants. Actually, this isn't my first time recording my voice. Well, it kind of is. I've been on other podcasts in the past, and those appearances and people's reaction to those appearances are some of the reasons why I decided to do one. It took me a while to build myself up for it, but I thought it's a good time. 2011, 2011, however you want to say it. Start something new. So, what is the show going to be about? What's my MO? Basically, it's going to be a show where I give some of my thoughts on things of pop culture. I'm going to talk about comics. I like comics. I read comics. I enjoy them. Not as much as I used to be. Well, American comics instead, I should say. Superhero comics. I'll probably talk about movies. I see a lot of films, see a lot of movies over the year. I'll try to talk about some games. I really love video games. I always have, always will. Sometimes I love them more than comics. I'll probably talk about music sometimes. Some pop tracks, a little R&B maybe. Hip hop. Whatever. Rock floats my boat. Whatever Daft Punk decides to make and give the world greatness. So yeah, that's what the show's gonna be about. I guess we should stop the preamble and get going into some of the main parts of the show. All right, let's just let this out now. When I talk about stuff, it's gonna be spoiler. I want to talk about the stories, what happens. So if you ain't really about hearing about what I'm talking about, you ain't read it, you ain't see it, you ain't listen to it, you ain't do this, you ain't do that, yo, you shouldn't listen to this until after you done consume that media. Because I'm going to go in on that media, go all the way in. Alright, I think we're going to start the show out with some movies. January is usually a dead month. It's just they put out all the they don't care no more. Like the Oscar bait came out in December. Ain't no real big time movies. The romantic comedies don't come out till Valentine's Day time. So this is like the dead area. But there's two movies. One comes out, you know, the 14th of January, which this show might or might not be up by then. And the one came out the week before, and the two movies are Green Hornet and Season of the Witch. I want to start with Season of the Witch. Season of the Witch is terrible. It's fucking horrendous. No one should ever really pay money to see this movie, but a lot of people did because it did pretty well. Came in number four last week. It's kind of terrible. Even Ron Perlman could not save this film. It is just horrendous. It has bad CG. It has terrible acting by Nicolas Cage. I'm not a Nicolas Cage hater. I've enjoyed some Nicolas Cage films. I like Con Air. I like Raising Arizona. Heck, I like Ghost Rider. I like Gone in 60 Seconds. But this movie is terrible. It doesn't even make sense. They just start out with like I guess they're knights for the church in the crusades, and they're like, oh man, we didn't kill some innocents, so they stop, end up in this town where it's like, oh, we got to play because of a witch, and they got this girl like in a cage, and they have to take her to like this monk area so she can be judged or whatever, and like, most likely killed. But it's terrible. It's not shot well. The script is horrible. I clearly think me and my friend who I saw it with just totally believe that Ron Perlman just ad-libbed his part of the movie because he is literally the only entertaining part. So when it comes on television, if there's a way for you just to watch his parts, you should do that. There's a demon involved. There's spider, super strong zombie monks in it, And you may think that's cool, but no, it's not. It's just not. Um, yeah, it's pretty terrible. There's a lot of Latin in there for some magical book to get rid of witches and demons that the church never don't have no more for some reason. Yeah. Yeah. Please just stay away. It's a total mess. It's just Nicolas Cage getting paid, and I ain't trying to give him no money to just get paid. But the other January release, the Green Hornet. Oh man, was that a trailer marked for disaster? If there wasn't one else I haven't seen. But that movie, my friends, is the truth. It is hilarious. It is the only bright spot in all of January. Not only is it a character you might know, has Kato in it, character basically made famous because of Bruce Lee. It's also directed by Michel Gondry. Michel Gondry has made some of the best films of this past decade. He also made some of the best music videos in the 90s, back when MTV still played videos. So we get along to Michel Gondry doing a superhero picture. At first, that sure sounds hot. And then you see the trailers like, oh no, he done messed up. This is his first real big L. But then you hear about things. He had the Comic Cons, like fanboys hating. He's like, I don't care about fanboys. You know what, directors, you shouldn't care about fanboys. But you know what? In the end, that movie was hot. It dealt with some interesting things with the camera and the way it shows, I guess, the characters' eyes when they're really getting down to fisticuffs. And it's just pretty lighthearted in the way that it shows that Britt Reed is ineffectual as the Green Hornet, but Kato is a complete beast, and they play that up. The fact that Britt Reed knows that Kato's a beast, and that he's just kind of, him. It's something that we really got in the TV show. And diehard fans may not like that, but you gotta call a spade a spade. Like, you watch that show with Bruce Lee, and they play it, that part of it, in this movie. Now they have some other things in, like Cameron Diaz. I have no reason why she's in the movie. Not at all. Christoph Waltz is entertaining as the villain. Pretty good, he's kind of over the top. It's Christoph Waltz. We've seen him in, Glorious Bastards. He's the only good part of that movie. So in this, he's just really hamming it up. You got some pretty cool cameos. But overall, I say it's a solid, I say it's a 3-star, especially for January. This is garbage, and it's in 3D, and you know what? I saw it in 2D, but I think some of the scenes that you can clearly tell was meant to be the 3D parts. It wasn't like a big, batting ball coming at your face, but you can tell, like, oh, those are the Will Michel Gondry parts. Those are the 3D parts. That I wouldn't mind seeing again. I saw this movie at a screening. I might go pay to see it again, just see those parts in 3D. It's also funny. When Green Hornet and Kato driving in LA see shoes hanging on the wire and they say, I think we're in the hood, Kato, that is hilarious. The fact that they know they're in the hood and things about to get extra, extra, extra gully. But yeah, people, if you want to have a good time, especially in January, go see it. It's actually worth some money. He did a good job.
It was all good just a week ago.
Sorry, so next up here, let's talk about a little music, a little rap music. For those who don't know, Kanye and Jay-Z released their first single for their new album together called Watch the Throne. The name of this track is called H.A.M. It's an acronym. It stands for Hard as a Motherfucker. Now, if you notice that I just said hard as a motherfucker, and that if you take the first letter of those words, it would be H-A-M. We should already notice that this song is on the down. That they couldn't even get the acronym. Really, they just had to force it in there. It's not a good look. Overall, the track is okay. Jay-Z's part, it's Jay-Z. Even when you feel he's not trying his complete and utter hardest, it's better than most cats. It's like seeing Kobe only score 30. Or D Wade, only he decides to only shoot threes tonight, something like that. But Kanye, man, see, Kanye had a pretty good year last year. He came back, he ruffled little feathers, but he cut out amazing work. His album, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, is great. It's clearly the best album last year. Probably followed with like Black Keys or something, but to me, it's top. It shoots for the stars, and it actually hits some. He changed the rap game with his Good Fridays. He put like free tracks out every week. Friday was like an event. Like, oh man, he put out in progress tracks for the album. I still keep them on there with the album cuts. But this, he just his verse is weak, and it's nothing but like misogynistic. And it's kind of racist because he kind of just he treats white women as objects. Well, it's kind of crazy. It's feeding this. I don't know what's happening to him in his 30s after his mother died or something, but maybe it's changing his effect with women or whoever then broke his heart. Maybe he didn't get over it. But he needs to or something, or at least if he's going to do it like he was doing on the album, which was way more interesting and way better. You know, but the album is. I mean, the song is not that great. The track is produced by Lex Luger. This new kid is coming up. He did some tracks for Rick Ross. BMF, MC Hammer. The track is crazy. These crazy drum patterns. 808 coming with the opera samples. Get real gothic in it. And when you hear J Five, like, oh man, this be tough. Kind of wish there was just two J verses. Maybe we didn't need a full Kanye verse. Maybe he could have just came in on the hook or something. But yeah, overall, it's kind of lacking. You can find it. You can buy it on iTunes. I don't really know why you would buy it on iTunes. Be the fact that it leaked them. They leaked it themselves on midnight. It's on every hip hop site. It's probably on some newspaper sites. You really don't have to buy it. If you like to give two rich men money, go ahead. Do you? If you just want to hear the song, it's on like they got a Watch the Throne fan page on Facebook. Go there, click on it, listen to it, get out your system. If you don't like Kanye West, hey, I feel you. If you like Jay-Z but don't want to hear Kanye West, I say just scan forward, wait till you get to the part you want to hear. It's a good track though. The beat's a good track, but hopefully they'll put out more things like The Joy or That's My Bitch with the chick from LaRue on there. Than this ham, cause it's ham, alright.
Hard as a motherfucker, let these niggas know who I am. Yeah, I'm about to go ham.
Alright, let's talk about some comics right here. Let's talk about what is Julian interested in comics right now? Superhero comics. I'm talking about that. Like Batman. Now, see, I'm a Morrison fan. I came into Morrison kind of late, though. I came in with that new X-Men. That was some amazing stuff to me. Changed the game up. So, I was first introduced to him, and then, he went back to DC. And, eventually he got on this Batman book. And, we can go into all the craziness of the awesomeness of his current Batman run. But right now, I just want to talk about the first two issues of Batman Incorporated. Man, that has to be the most awesome superhero comic book on the stands, man. It's Batman being Batman. On some James Bond, you know what I'm saying? Just flying around the earth, spy type stuff, but he got an outfit on. Got Selena Kyle with him. I was like, yo, Selena, I need you. I'm rolling to Japan. You trying to go? She was like, yeah, let's go. He go to Japan, Bruce Wayne looking fly on that, that G6, because, he clearly got more money, he G5, what is that? Psh, pshaw. He got that super Bruce Wayne plane. Then he goes to the hotel room. This is awesome. You got Batman in a hotel room. Selena Kyle, he lifting weight. You know what I'm saying? He working out, getting scrum. Keep his workout regimen. This man just fought through time and he back on his workout regimen. That's what I'm saying. That's how real Batman is, Bruce Wayne Batman. And they allude to, him and Selena get some nice little some things going on. Cutting, this is how Batman do. He got that schedule laid out. He probably planned that out. It was like look fly while I working out so Selena will be enticed to come over. Yeah, another thing I like about this comic is both of them is the concept of Mr. Unknown, the Japanese vigilante hero that's introduced in this comic. Man, it's funny because when you first see him, this is an old dude. He's getting hemmed up about Lord Deathman. Lord Deathman, Morrison took from the bot manga. Look at me, I said it all wrong. Bat manga that came out. It's just like a super duper Cobra Kai dude from Karate Kid that can't die. But man, is he ever great? And they got the young guy. Oh man, old dude get messed up. Lord Deathman takes his girlfriend, floods the apartment underneath, and puts a giant octopus in it. Like man, what kind of villain does that? You know what I'm saying? That's a whole new level of baller right there. And isn't it funny? Of course, Batman and Catwoman come up. That in a comic that set place in Japan, the hero has a face with his girlfriend getting attacked by something with tentacles. And Catwoman in leather has to go down and save a girl tied up from essentially a big ass tentacle monster. Yeah, Grant Morrison's genius right there. Overall, the book is great. Japanese guy comes Batman, of course. Batman in Japan. It has one of the best last pages of the last year. Batman in Japan fighting a gorilla with a domino mask and a leather outfit on, falling down towers, punch each other in the face. Fantastic, fantastic, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's superheroes comics should be: apes and domino masks, tentacles, Catwoman, Batman being freaking a beast, making other Batman, whole team of cats. Soon it's gonna be like Batman's gonna be like the Wu-Tang Clan. You know, it's gonna just be like protect your neck, and it's gonna be like Bruce Wayne's gonna be like RZA. You know what I'm saying? Call him Bruce Digi or something. It'll be fantastic. Woo. Now, a video game I'm looking forward to is Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Man, that game series is special to me. I remember buying Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It was over 10 years ago now. In March it'll be like 11-year-old game. Because I bought the Japanese Dreamcast version. I'm serious. I'm serious about that fighting game. The new one's coming out. They release some cool characters. We finally get Thor. We get Iron Man again. Hold me down by Proton Can like he has since '96. And one character popped up as DLC. You get the collector's edition. It's Shuma Gorath. Now, some people might even think that's a Capcom character, but it's not. Oh boy, only for Doctor Strange, and they'll never use him. Now, I'm gonna read comics since I was about 7, right? That's 20 plus years. I'm 30. And I remember the first time I saw Shuma Gorath. It was in Marvel Superheroes. And everybody was like, yo, who the heck is this one-eyed octopus dude? It took me 2 years to find out that he was a Doctor Strange villain. And that he's kind of like Cthulhu or something like that. But in the end, we all know that Shuma Gorath was a beast. He could turn to a spike ball, hit you upside the head, turn stone, smack you upside the head, grab you up, put you in that dimension. You know what I'm saying? He got some ill combos. You get the time gem, you be freezing people. Wow. And you know what? I was like, they announced him. And I think I was listening to a Word Balloon podcast. Somebody else brought up Shuma Gorath. I'm like, yo, how come Marvel ain't using him? He done had years of free promotion, and they'll never use him. He's a octopus cyclops with dimension powers. Come on, man. Can't they give Ultron a break? You know what I'm saying? He's a robot. You know what I'm saying? I love robots, but come on. What's up with this octopus dude? Why wasn't my man Brother Voodoo fighting Shuma Gorath? You know what I'm saying? You can even find a way to tie some little air combos or something. Aerial rave. You know what I'm saying? What's up with Marvel? What's up with you guys, man? Shuma Gorath is raw. You ain't using him. Capcom been using him for years. What do they see that y'all don't see? It's an octopus with one eye. He can shoot stuff out of that eye. He can do ill stuff. Why ain't y'all using him? You know what I'm saying? Why can't I read a comic book Shuma Gorath? Maybe y'all put some Shuma Gorath, I might buy a comic book for $4. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, y'all need to listen to that. But yeah, back on Marvel's Capcom 3, it's not too far away. It's gonna be raw. It's gonna be hype. Aerial race for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Supreme Clientele. You know, that's my team. Iron Man, War Machine, Dr. Doom, named after Wu-Tang members, Ghostface, Raekwon, Capadonna. You know, I can't wait to bring them back. Play nothing but that new Apollo Kids where I beat people up online. You know, you won't hear me talk about this joint, you know, a little bit more as it comes up and when it comes out. That's my Marvel event. You know what I'm saying? I don't need fear itself. I need aerial rays and taking people for a ride. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. All right. As we bring this first one to a close, I want to give some shout outs to some people that basically inspired me to make this podcast. First, I want to give some shout out to Brian Deemer and Peter Rios of Comic Geek Speak. Over the past couple years, maybe even longer than that, they had me have some appearances on their show. They let me call me in, asked me to fill in on some episodes. You know, some of the Morrison Batman episodes, Final Crisis. You know, over time, just let me call in, let me talk about my webcomic, and I appreciated that. And then, you know, I appeared at Super Show and different cons. You know, people said they liked it and they heard about it too. And then, you know, Peter was like, "Yo, you should think about doing a podcast." I was like, "I don't know, man. I don't really like hearing myself talk." And you know, I just called into you guys' show. And over time, I started seeing more people bring up my appearances and say how much they enjoyed it, and you know, saying you know a little bit too much, but hey, it's like really put in my idea in my head that maybe I should actually do it. Two other guys I want to shout out is Vince B and Jason Wood of 11 O'Clock Comics. They kind of sat me down too and gave me some talk about how I should probably do it. And I guess I don't know if you have people when they have conversations with me at cons, especially when I'm talking about comics, they get kind of excited, I get kind of hyped, you know. And I'm not big on explaining comics like the same way I guess everybody else is. I like to use some association from other media and other storylines, and you know, make it easy for some people that maybe don't read comics all the time to get what I'm talking about. Some of the craziness, and they, you know, they say, "Man, you should really do one," and you know, we'll put it up or something. They'll figure something out. So I was like, you know, I was hemming and hawing, but you know, after a while, I was like, yeah, I should do it. You know, like cracking those guys up. You know, those people on those forums and CGS and 11 O'Clock forums. I'm gonna give a shout out to Daryl Taylor and Lori Thomas. They done had me on Comic Roadshow a couple times. I got to talk to Adam Warrock and Art and Franco from Tiny Titans. You know, that was fun. And The Fixer, he had me on his hideout a couple times, his show. I'm gonna give a shout out to that. You know, it was good times. I guess that's kind of where I found my voice, jumping on all these shows, you know, talking to people, arguing about the merits of how Morrison superhero comics are awesome, and how Star Trek is overly superior to glow sticks and rolls of Star Wars. Yes, you're gonna currently hear me hate on Star Wars. That's probably my pleasurous things to do. Also, I want to give a shout out to Ian Levenstein for having me on his show a couple times over the years. Comic Timing. You know, those are fun conversations, and he's a good dude. He's a good show. And all those times I've been on, I greatly appreciate it. Another friend is Sean Pryor of PKD Media. And PKD Black Boxes podcast. Right now, he's also part of Action Lab. They just had a successful Kickstarter campaign to get out their comic Fracture. He also puts out a great show. I think he uses music the best of any type of pop culture podcast out there. Period. He has a great ear. He has a really good podcast, and had me on. He talked about rap music, comics, and ants and everything else. And, that was a good time. I want to just thank those people for putting me on, giving me an opportunity, and I guess help spur me to make this show. And we're gonna ride out to some smooth, ill beats. When you listen to this, you're gonna hear some beats from some crazy stuff or some hard street stuff. And we're gonna tie it around some comics. So when you listen to the end of this beat, think that, and you might not agree with this, but in Julian Land, Batman's, driving around in Tokyo, riding to this smooth outro after he done made a whole new Batman. Alright, holla at your boy. Peace.